Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the weekly roundup. This is where the place where we unpack, I don't know, way too many things, honestly. What's been going on in the yoga, wellness, fitness, boutique, Terry's life, Carol's
Carrie's
cult
dad.
leadership,
Gary's dad,
and
crusty old salt dogs.
so crusty old salt dogs, whatever it is. We unpack all of that here. But mostly, there seem to always be like this in the ether, these trends, these things that are happening with the clients that we're working with. And so that gives us a good prompt to just talk about what the heck is going on in the industry and what can you guys do about it. So that's what we're jumping in on today. Surprise! It's Black Friday season. I would say holiday season, but I feel like even that seems like not actually what people say in the business.
Yeah,
It's like it's Black Friday season.
yeah.
So what are you doing for Black Friday?
Mm. Good, great
Well,
question.
I do just,
Someone's gonna sell something, that's for sure. What's
yeah,
the deal?
and I just want to put a little asterisk on this conversation that one, you don't have to do a Black Friday sale. There's always that. And then
That's not an asterisk, that's just the truth.
the
It's one
truth.
of the main things.
Why you
Yeah.
don't, if it's one of those things, if you're having, oh, everybody does Black Friday sales, therefore I should do a Black Friday sale. That's not a great effective strategy. So if you don't have to do a Black Friday sale, and two, if you do a Black Friday sale, which we're going to talk about, what's your strategy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And what are you
Why?
solving?
Why even do
Why?
it?
Why
Yeah.
do it? Because if you're doing it because you want a lump of cash because it's tied you through the less profitable months, then you've got a larger problem to solve.
Mm. I think it's worth doubling down on that point that just, the easy example that anyone in the United States would know would be REI. Like they put a placeholder on their website even on Black Friday and said like no sales here, we're all out hiking, and they gave the whole weekend off to all their employees and closed. It's like they did that, they were the counterculture move. And for that company and how their pricing model and stuff works and memberships, like really smart. Because yeah, they would have sold some stuff or whatever, but that's not the model that they're following. And so I thought that was cool. And it's also like know your avatar, know your customer
Yeah.
yeah,
sort of thing too. Um, so there's value in not only not doing something, but going like all the way to the other side, then announcing that you're not doing something. Work loudly on that sort of stuff. Build a principle around it.
Oh, I like that. It's like our stuff is, we have a valuable service. There's no reason to discount it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
yeah.
oh, I was just gonna add, I feel like there are very few places where you can gracefully weave into the conversation the fact that most studios out there are a small business and aren't funded and there aren't 20 locations, and it's not like the owners make good money, but in the bigger scheme of business this is not like the thing that you're pulling in 10 mil personally or some bullshit like this. So that's not even what they aspire to. So this is in a unique way. If you went this counterculture thing, you could weave that into the conversation because of the small business, whatever day it is, Saturday or whatever too, where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we pay our employees well, and we have this curated experience, and we work on things this way, and like reframe the whole value on the internal side. Be like, so what are we discounting? Like,
I was going to
we
say,
can't we
you could
can't do
even
that.
you could take it a
Yeah.
step further and like highlight if you wanted it to be more community. I'm sure there are small business owners in your yoga studio that I know that we brought in like, this jewelry maker and this ornament maker and like just made like a holiday bazaar of our own students,
Yeah.
to highlight them. So it was like
Mm.
to
Love
give,
that.
yeah.
I
So
love that idea.
became community that way. So
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Love
And
that.
That
and
made me think, Carol, too, on Small Business Saturday, one of the things that, this is a marketing play, so there like is some outcome you're searching for here, obviously, but you could do this just from a like non-attachment to the outcome, just smart play. Imagine if you every hour on like this is the extreme version, every hour on the hour, you highlight another small business local to you that you like, and then you it's like you don't give a testimonial, you tell a story about that business, your experience with them, why you like them, why you think it's dope, the thing that they're offering, why it's a special thing, why it's local. You don't say support local and we align with blah, blah, blah. It's like you tell a story, and that's really powerful for that business because it's hard for businesses to tell a story about themselves and have it feel really genuine.
Yeah.
And if you did it one-off, then it feels like, I made a partnership with Carol. We're probably paying each other something. It's fake. But if you did like 10 times in a day on Small Business Saturday, you post it on your site, you tag them.
You could even
That's
do
it. Right. But what do you think happens next? Like that place shares it. Your people comment on it. Their people comment on it. You respond in the comments. Like you want to get marketing traction and participate in community outside of your bubble of your studio. Don't ask anyone for anything. Don't fucking sell nothing. This isn't some way to get to a partnership where they are like, cool, I'll put your poster up. Nothing. It's just how do you participate in the local environment with the context of something like Small Business Saturday? There you go.
And gratitude, of course, we've tied to Thanksgiving. It's like, hey, this thing's, well, I'm celebrating the businesses that I patronize this business, and this is why, like you said, I love their this, blah, 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 blah. Carol, I was going to ask you a question with when you guys did that boutique thing, did you do it on Small Business Saturday or did you do it on another day?
I think it was typically on a different day.
Yeah.
Like in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we'd have like a pop-up shop.
Yeah. Because I was going to say that's because I did a retail gift sale. I did a retail sale the first time I did it on Small Business Saturday. And then it was just, there a lot of people were out of town that weekend. And so the following year I switched it up. I did it the weekend after Thanksgiving. And it was the same thing. It's like, I didn't bring local people in, but I, had all my retail and I had cookies and hot apple cider going, and I gift wrapped. I had special gift bags made, and I did sell gift cards. The first year I did like almost $4,000 in like 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon.
So fun.
Yeah, I mean, people were coming in. I remember this one guy, it's Tom. He actually ended up marrying Val. And then he became a client too. Tom came in, he was like, I'm like, are you Terry? I said, yeah. He goes, Val mentioned I should talk to you. I said, oh, Val, love Val. He walked out with $500 worth of yoga clothes, new mat, because he was buying for his love. And like, oh, she likes this, she likes this, she likes this. And he goes, okay, great. And then I'll gift it. He goes, you gift wrap? I said, sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What is coming to mind for me, and what has been coming to mind for me with the, coming up for me with a couple clients lately too, not only in the Black Friday arena, but in, the sales arena in general. Yes, it's like, what does your primary avatar want, and like, who are they, and etc. And also, which is also part of creating a primary avatar, but like, what behavior do you want out of your client? What kind of avatars do you want in your business? Do you want the kind of people who wait all year for a sale and then purchase at the cheapest amount possible, and then, whatever, or who come in only for free classes? And listen, we have a couple of those in our community that pop in and out. The only reason I survive without them driving me crazy is because they're few and far between, and the majority of my community is made up of people who are excited to pay full price for everything I'm offering, who are excited to participate in the community in an ongoing monthly way. And the more you create opportunities for this other kind of avatar, the deal hopper, the, sale lover, whatever. And I really do not mean to disparage those people, because great, you have a hobby, I have a hobby, like, it's fine. That's great, wonderful. But the more you create a place for those people to enjoy that hobby, the more of those people you're going to have in your community, on your mailing list, emailing you. And like the fastest way to ensure that Honey Yoga does not do a Black Friday sale is to email me personally and say, are you doing a Black Friday sale? Because I will so fast Slack the team, be like, hey, guess what? We are not doing
Guess
a Black
what?
Friday
No
sale.
Black Friday sales. It's like when
Fastest
someone
way.
phones you and they're like, do you
Yeah.
offer first class free? I'm like,
Yeah, not for you. Double
Yeah.
for you. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So yeah, so one of the things, you know, a lot of people come to us and say like, you know, I want more members, I want more money every single month. And they're still running these 30 class pack sales. If you want more money every month, if you want a long-term sustainable business, do not burn 100 people on your mailing list. You burn through them when you sell them a once yearly 30 class pack, you know, that's 100 people that you actually could have tried to make into a member that gives you actually long-term sustainable growth in your business. So those are my thoughts.
I like this idea of who do you want in your business? And you said this, I would just echo it. Like, this is that yoga for everybody statement bullshit and whatever, that just the fact that you will accept anyone without judgment is not the same thing as my business is calibrated for this person, inclusive of if you're just only looking for the super cheapo place to go, that might not be your business. And there's nothing actually wrong with that, because there's probably a community center where, if we're looking at it from like an objective on paper, bang for your buck place that's partially funded by the city or whatever else, they're gonna win.
Yep.
Or the big fitness center that has 20,000 square feet and is going after 10,000 members at a time or whatever, like, that's going to win on the bang for your buck part at first, but not in the depth that you offer as a studio. And so, to your point, if I'm only here practicing with you because it's super cheap, how committed am I to the practice and to you and to like what you're going to train me towards and push me would be the word I would use. And I feel like there is in sales psychology, there's a thing here that this is alluding to a little bit, which is this idea of payment as commitment. And so that can be manipulative, and there's more to unpack here. But the bottom line is there is a direct correlation. And so you could debate causation, but psychology hasn't proven it yet. That when someone spends more money on something, their participation, commitment level, effort, energy, acceptance of the thing goes up.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to need to say to you, Bridget, like, you need to come tomorrow and let's do it. Like, if I'm going to push you a little bit because it's my hit gym or whatever, or you try to take a break in the middle of my CrossFit class and I'm like, do you need to take a break or can you get the fuck up? Like, if I'm going to need to push you that way, but you came on a ultra cheap, whatever, like, you're probably like, yeah, whatever. Like, I paid $4 for this class.
Yeah. Yeah.
So God bless those people. Like, nothing wrong with that at all. I'm the person who's going to buy the cheapo thing if it's easy for me to do. I'm not going to go looking for it though. But like, I even have that behavior. But who do you want in your business? What are you angling for? Anyways, I digress. I think we get the point here.
It's time for hashtag Terry's dad.
Oh,
Oh.
it's been like 2 episodes we haven't
I
heard
know.
hashtag Terry's dad.
Hashtag Terry's dad. If you win on price, you'll lose on price.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. I think I've heard you say that before. I
I
forgot
have
though.
said it
That's a good
before.
one.
It's a good
Yeah.
one. It's like if you're like to your point, wanting to be if you're the cheapest, there's always going to be somebody willing to undercut you.
Yeah.
And if you're that, and if that's the type of person that you are, and there again, no shade there, then that's it. That's probably not. It's not how you're going to be able to build a sustainable studio for a small business. Yeah, maybe if you're like a Gold Gym or what some of those places. There's a reason why it's like a $19.99 a month membership, is because they hope people don't come in. Because if everybody actually showed up,
Mm.
there'd be lines at all the machines and stuff like that. right? And
Yeah.
so anyway, but yeah, if somebody's truly looking for a bargain, like a cheap price, they're not for you, straight up. No, you just can't sustain that, straight up.
Well, unless you're the bargain place.
Unless you're the bargain place. But a lot of times, you know, it's like it's a race to the bottom line. It becomes just a race to the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's tricky. The bargain place concept is a really tricky thing. And look, here's the other thing, to tangent to that for a second. It's been tried. Like
Right.
it's not a concept that hasn't been tried in the yoga wellness industry. That's the yoga to the people model. It's the donation only model. It's also like there are just some studios that even to this day that just like everything is just super friggin' cheap. They just have their prices super way low. And I don't know. I've looked behind the scenes at the numbers at 100 of them, and I don't know what to say other than what I've seen in my experience personally, in my professional opinion, is like it just doesn't fucking work. People don't come and commit to like that's just not how human psychology works. That's my opinion. Now, is it impossible for it to work? Could it work temporarily? Are there any use or proof cases of it working? Yeah, I can think of one or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I can speak to one, but the thing is, she talks that this is a studio owner I know, and she talks all the time about how everyone's prices should be so cheap, and she has the cheapest prices in her region and whatever. And she also admits she has to teach 10 classes a week and not pay herself that well to make it happen, which if that's what, and she feels passionately about that, and that is truly amazing. I genuinely have no judgment about it. The only thing that annoys me is that she judges other people for having high prices.
Yeah.
And that is just, I'm sorry, it is not ever going to be my lifestyle that I run my entire business, like work full-time running that and teach 10 classes a week. Like I would absolutely hate my life. I would have a horrible relationship with my husband, and like I could have no work-life balance. And that just for me is not an option. I love that it's an option for her, but
Well, that is an option when you're not trying to be a business owner.
right.
That's when you're formulating a business around something you love so that you can purchase yourself a job. That's what that is.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's no shade on that. We've had it, the weird thing, like that we don't talk about often as coaches, or that I don't talk about often because I feel like it can get misinterpreted negatively, is how often I've had to say that or like ask that question to someone who comes on coaching with us. Throughout the last decade plus, like I can tell it's not that often, but it's more than you think. And for whatever reason, those people are seared in my brain. I can give you the list of names right this second that's had to be the conversation where you get to this point early in our coaching together where I'm like, hey, it's unclear what our objective here is. Like, what's the vision for where this is going? Because if the vision is, I'm going to teach 10 classes a week because I love teaching, other people are going to teach the other ones. I am not trying to do anything to grow this business. Like, I'm going to do some stuff to maintain it and make it good and whatever, but I'm not like actively conspiring to make the whole business machine stronger, better, growing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's a quote retirement job. It'd be like the stupid analogy here, because I live in Mexico, is a bar. It's where people come down here with their retirement stuff. They open up a crappy little beach bar. It's less common now as it's too touristy here.
Yeah.
The bar is not even good. I'm sure they don't really make any money, but it pays for all the general expense of normal stuff here. And all they do is go sit in the bar to themselves anyway. So they're like, I might as well own the place.
They'd be at the bar anyway, so they have to
Right.
like, yeah, exactly.
Now,
yeah,
no judgment on that either, but like retiring into alcoholism is also kind of insane to me. But like that's what right. You do that when you're 150. Like at that point, fuck it. We're just going for whatever. But but like you could formulate a yoga studio that way too. I think the tension happens when you say one thing but do the other and like you're not clear. Which is it? And this isn't a spectrum question in my mind. This is like, there's a line. You're either on this side of it or on that side of it. This is a job that I want, and I'm going to accept it that way, and that's what it is. Or I'm building a fucking business. Because
Yeah.
those two things, they don't play well together. If you oscillate between them, it messes everything up.
Well, yeah, if you're the latter and you're trying to do the former, nothing's, you're not going to be happy.
Mm,
Right. Expectations.
mm.
As soon as you stop having expectations, is why awareness, so that you have clarity, so that you can let go, not set, let go of expectations. Then things are easy and it flows. Easy. Quotes, super big quotes here.
Air quote.
Black Friday. So if you're going to have a sale on Black Friday, check boxes ahead of time. Why? And let me just say this too. Totally valid to say, because I want to fucking make some money right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
Just own that. No problem whatsoever. Or I need a bunch of cash to come in because
Yeah.
I'm going to utilize that for my marketing advertising for the new year. Good
Yeah.
reason. Or because I just personally, like, we're coming into Q4, we haven't made enough revenue fast enough in this year that I'm personally going to make the money that I want, and I want to like hit my target. This is a mechanism that could do that. Great. All valid reasons. Other one might be for any sale. I know that there's a group of people in the woodwork that will come out for a sale. And whether they're waiting or not, it's like I could phone them, text them, email them, send them every nice message on the thing, see them in the grocery store and be like, Bridget, get back in here. And they're not coming back in. But when I do this sale, they'll buy it and some of them will come in. Also a good reason. So
Should you segment your list then? Should you only send it to those people? Or, I mean, I guess you'd have to know exactly who they are then. But like, to me, that's great because I do know that there are those people in my business who just, they won't come in anyway. They'll only come in if I sell them a 15 pack or whatever, a 10 pack, whatever.
right.
And, but I also don't want, because I have for sure made, you know, whether you want to call it a mistake or not, I have definitely made or like done a sale like that and actually lost a member or two because I didn't correctly segment my list. So what do you do there?
Yeah, you can. I would say that's why getting clear up front, be like, okay, why am I doing this? What
Mhm.
is the outcome that I'm trying to achieve? And getting kind of specific on it too. Let's say, so I want to bring in money. How much money? 10,000, 20, 50, 80, 100? I've seen a studio sell 150,000 in one day. Like, it's all possible, but the question is what specifically? And then part two to your question, Bridget, is what kind of money or who? Is this new money coming in, or I'm just trying to get cash in one go? Those are two separate things. Cash in one go, open it to everybody. Just let go of the reins. Don't worry about it. The more friction, the harder it'll be. New money coming in without disrupting membership. You have that condition in there. Now we're talking segmentation. The offer changes too. You don't want the offer because your members will still find out about it.
Yep.
And so you got to be a little careful with the offer or the condition so that it at least doesn't seem too easy for them to jump over there. You might still lose one or something, no big deal. But yeah, what are you trying to do is the starting point.
And also 100%. And also a strategy too is if one of the things that a lot of people do Black Friday is annuals.
Mhm.
Typically, anybody who's on a current annual might renew, but in the beginning, it's usually, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong or disagree, is most of your annuals are going to be people who are regular members that just upgrade to an annual, and then they just get on
Right.
that annual track.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing you got to look at. Okay, so let's say you sell 25 annuals and they're all monthly members. That means you now no longer have that 25 monthly member recurring revenue. Yeah, you've got this huge chunk of, let's just make it easy math, $1,000, $25,000, but now you're not going to have
Yeah. You got to
the
build back.
2,500 coming in every single month. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And ideally, if you do sell a lot of annuals, the best practice is take that annual, put it in a separate a banking account, and every month you pull out 1/12. unless you're doing it for a specific purchase or something like that.
Yeah.
But contrary to the other part of that is if you're going to do an annual sale, what is your strategy to replace those 25 monthly members?
Yeah.
So this is where it's a little bit of a dovetail, is like doing some type of open house event early in January, where you're getting a ton of new people coming in, and you have some type of membership offer to get people back on membership, to get new people on membership. So that's the other thing too, is if you're going to do something like that, what's your strategy to make up those people?
Yeah.
Or
What
you might look at your historical data and be like, hey, you know what? December is a little bit slower, but every January we net positive 30, 40, 50 people. I don't know that that's going to happen this next January, February, but it's happened 5 years straight. And so I'm going to have faith that very likely we're going to net positive. Therefore, I can sacrifice these 25 members if that's what happens, because I'm going to get them back then anyways.
But
And
you know
so
that, and
this
there's
is
a plan
part
for
of my
that.
bigger plan, and I want this cash flow bigger piece right now.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm thinking of, or I'm wondering what you guys' thoughts are on, oh, like, I know usually one of our big things about selling memberships is like make it as easy and frictionless as possible. Would maybe there be an exception here of like one way you could create, because I'm thinking of like, how can you create a sale that supports your goal of monthly recurring revenue? Could you do like, hey, your membership is 150 right now. If you sign on for 12 months, I'll give it to you for 120. If you commit for 12 months, I'll give it to you for 125, like in this specific circumstance. And if you were going to do that, is that something you market to everybody? Is that something you just market to your current members? Like, what are your guys' thoughts?
Carol, what do you think?
Sorry. Yeah, actually, I think that's a really good idea. And I would probably start segmenting with people who have previously been on membership and I haven't seen in a minute. Because I don't want, I don't necessarily want people to hop off my current membership, but maybe like if I had a certain goal number of people that I'm trying to get on that particular package, I would start with, like I said, previous members, and then maybe start to reach out to current members after.
So maybe send them an email that's like, come back for this for $115 a month or whatever, something like that.
Could be, or even like a personal reach out. Like
Yeah.
the more tailored it is to like, I haven't seen you in a minute, Bridget, and we'd love to have you back. I'm reaching out because you came to mind
Mhm.
for this package would be really impactful, I think, for student.
Yeah,
member.
I love that, Carol. And if you really want to make it to that, because it's a curated list, if you really wanted to go a step beyond that, is rather than putting that list in an email automation, get it like a templated email.
Yeah, get your Gmail going.
Get your Gmail going, and you send it from your like Terry at,
yeah,
right, Bridget at whatever. So then it's like not coming through an email automation, it's coming through your personal email address, and it will look different.
Yeah.
So that I would do that when I had special things for like annual members and things like, well, more so the annual members, but and that really worked well too.
Yeah.
I think oh, sorry, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I just, and sometimes one of the things I would do is like if they wanted to get on the annual membership, or I would say, all you need to do, because if you have I said, all you need to do is respond, yes, Terry, I want this, I want in on this deal, and we will take care of the rest. So they don't even have to click on anything. And that I found to be really successful.
Yeah, I love that.
I think the two other pieces of the puzzle here, one is the formatting of the membership offer for recurring revenue itself. And so the creative things to consider are things like, because how do you enforce a lock-in is always the question, right? You have to be kind of prepared to do that.
Yeah.
And or have a condition for like, hey, if you want to cancel early, this is how that would happen. But one of the ways to do that is you just get more upfront. It's like the idea of first and last. or you do the like you switch it to be a quarterly payment. Because often it's like I don't want to jump from whatever 150 a month to then paying you $1,500 in one go, but I would jump to paying you $350 quarterly. And
Mm,
so at least then right up front, like you get a little bit of that cash, you still get the recurring income less frequently. So things like that, I think, are the creative ways that are not usually talked about. No one's really doing them. You don't want them to be creative, shouldn't be confusing for your team or clients. But again, what are you solving for? And then the other piece of the puzzle, which we're alluding to here, is this idea of the Easter egg. And if you want proof of this, go back and watch all the Marvel stupid movies or whatever. In the Marvel universe, there was always the like after the credits end scene, little Easter egg thing of what was coming. And everyone's all excited about that. And then it actually lost a little bit of gumption because everyone knew that it was going to be there. But still, even knowing it was going to be there, you still wanted to see it. It's like this little special thing. And so it has the sense of like when you know, you know. That's your members. If I'm part of your deeper community and you're going to make me an offer that's exclusive to me, and if you can make it feel like that. So if you send me an email from your personal email and it's like, hey, Bridget, this offer is being sent to you because it's Black Friday and because you specifically are this person in our business. This is not a public offer. No one else can access this. If you were to forward this email to someone else and they try to do it, we would turn them away.
yeah.
And now there's exclusivity attached to it. That becomes a different kind of filter as well. And then, I don't know, also creates a little additional urgency in the situation. So I feel like that's a fun way to present a similar thing where it's like we're trying to have this sale, but to a more specific group.
Yeah. Mm,
Okay, let's keep it really simple. When in doubt, if you're in the category of you're like, I want to do a Black Friday sale, it needs to be not complicated. What the hell do I do? General recommendation, I would say you should only offer two things. Almost like you could do a third, but honestly, even three, too confusing. You need two things and they should be a high low. The high example, we call it the super pass, where you're doing, an annual pass and you add some extra perks to it. Like you increase the value of it first, not just decrease the price so that you don't have to just really tank the price on it. And then maybe you only you're like, my goal is to bring in $10,000. Okay, I'm going to sell $1,000. Like the fastest way to do that is way easier to sell $10,000 things than it is $100 things. And so make it $1,000 product, limit it to 10 exactly, add value to it until that seems like a no-brainer for someone who's practicing. That's your high product, something in that realm. And then the low, you can put other conditions on it, but this is like that person coming out of the woodwork, someone who doesn't have a pass, someone who's the deal hunter. It's the candy bar that's right at the checkout of the grocery store that you just impulse grab because you're hungry because you've been shopping and you didn't eat first. It's that thing. It's like it's just easy for me to just grab, or I could grab it as a stocking stuffer for someone else or whatever. So you want that one to feel like, again, irresistible in its simplicity and low total price. Not low price like smoke and deal low price necessarily, although sure. Really simple, low total dollars out where it's like, it's not so much difficulty for me to part with this money. A 5-pack.
okay, yeah. 5-pack.
What unfortunately doesn't sell well in Pilates a little bit more, yoga anymore. The HIIT gyms and stuff we're doing. There's a pole studio we talked to you about this not that long ago too. The pole in the Pilates outperform, but in yoga, HIIT, whatever, is gift cards.
Yeah, we never.
It's not that it can't, like they just they just don't. New studio owners too, like they think they're going to sell a bunch of gift cards around this time and around Christmas and stuff too, and you just don't. Like
No, I just don't.
culturally, they don't
And it's actually
land that
more
way.
it's more of a pain. Like the, you know, $500 I might make this holiday season on it, literally it's such a pain. Like I have to have this gift up subscription and I randomly get, this is like such bad studio ownership, but I like I just had this conversation with my bookkeeper. She sent me this thing and she was like, what is this 567 charge from gift up? I'm like, I have no clue. I don't know. They charge me once in a while. I don't know why. I don't ask questions. I just live my life without worrying about my gift up subscription. So yeah, I just find it such a pain. So is there like an alternative to, like, I was just sitting here thinking about that in my mind, like, is it a shareable pass? Is it like, um is there some alternative to a gift card? Maybe it's just like Terry's retail sale where you're just buying gifts or whatever, but like anything there we could think of that's creative and fun.
The one that every year I talk about, because I feel we've just done it in so many studios now that it works, is the like idea of bundling things.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 or 4 ways to do that. So you could in fact use a gift card for this, but it's like we don't, if someone asks you, fine, sell them a gift card by itself. But the bundle is the mat, towel, water bottle, and a gift card to use for whatever the heck the person wants. Because now the gift is, I'm giving this to someone as a yoga starter pack at the studio,
Mm-hmm.
or in a Pilates studio, it's like the toe socks, a water bottle, a sweatband, a cool onesie, and then also plus you prepay the session specifically for the like pre-training session and evaluation thing, and then the gift card in there too. And like now we're like, you said you want to try Pilates, here's a Pilates starter pack. Then
Yeah.
the gift card is valuable. Because like
Yeah.
the joke on the consumer side, right, is, oh, I got Carol a gift card. What better way to say, I didn't know what to get you and I don't know anything about you and just want to do, but I
Mark
know
this
I
off.
shouldn't do nothing. Yeah. There's no better way to say I don't care than just getting you a gift card. Yeah.
Well, I mean, money is always good. My grandmother said money is always the right color and fits. So,
Uh-huh.
if it comes in the form of a gift card, that's fine too. I do want to just like briefly go back to pricing a 5 class pack if you're going to do
Mm.
that as a lower price option. I mean, you guys chime in too, but my thinking is I would take the price of the 10 class pack individual, you know, 10, if 10 is 20, sorry, if 10 is 200, and that means one class is 20, multiply that by 5, and that would give so you're not
Mhm.
undercutting your other
Yeah.
packages. So I just want to, like, you don't do like a 5 class for like $50 or something like that. So I just wanted to throw that out there because you will have a lot of people kind of jumping to
Yeah.
that if you undercut it, if you make it really low. So.
Or if you're gonna do something crazy like that, you have to add the condition that like this is new people only, but then that makes it hard for the sale.
Yeah.
Or you put another condition on it, it makes it super it reframes the whole thing. It's 5 classes for $50. I mean, I don't know if I go that low. That's insane. 5 classes for $50. You have to start it in the next 6 months, and you only have 1 month to use the 5 classes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're selling an intro, so $50 is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Uh, and like no member is probably going to buy that. It just doesn't make sense for them
Mhm.
then. So the conditions filtered out. That would be the exception if you're going that way. But normally I would say then it goes back to like, okay, if it's $50 a 5 class and you sell 200 of them, how much did you make?
Not
Two
much.
grand? And so really the reason you do that is to get some people that aren't in your studio. It's a different thing you're solving for, but it's almost like, what's the point?
Yeah.
The other thing, if you are doing like a 10 class pack, or I used to do, I like rather than discounting it, I called it the baker's dozen, 13 for the price of 10 kind of thing. And if you're going to do something like that, I learned the hard way on this one, is you can either A, limit the number they can buy, or that if you buy this, it activates date of purchase and it runs concurrent
Yep.
with any other pricing option. So like
Yep.
if someone has a 10 pack, because this would happen to me, I did the second month I owned my studio, I did a Groundhog Day sale, right? And I did 22 classes for $220. And I wanted some, it was like, Honey knew owned the studio for a month. I wanted a little bit of cash, and I didn't put any conditions on it. I had one client who was still using those GD cards in 2020
Yeah, definitely.
because she bought a ton of them.
Yeah.
And then she said, well, can I use, and I'm like, sure.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
So for 5 years it took, and she still had some left when I sold the studio 5 years later. So it's like, make sure you put some of those parameters on it, because those are the type of things that'll just come back and bite you.
I also just want to say, in case any of my Bikram studio clients are listening, that was a very specific situation in which Terry sold that 20 pack. She has already said she regrets it. And she is not saying it's a good idea to do a 20 pack for $220.
No,
So
no, not at all. Not
just
at all.
sit back down wherever you are. Just sit back
Back.
down, put the computer away.
Hey, dude, that's not Bikram Studios. That's all studios.
Walk
I
away
see
from
all
the
of it.
computer.
Yeah.
Well, plus you gotta
I-
realize that was like over 10 years ago too. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
Bikram Studios, at least of my clients, are more likely to sell the huge class packs.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Common. It's not as common in Vinyasa and
Yeah, they sell numbered everything, but it's small always. That is a stereotype. Interesting. That's true. I have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge this though. This is funny.
right.
I think actually I'm not gonna challenge that. I'm just throwing this in like from another angle. 3 studios in the last 6 months have done something similar to this, where there is sort of now and again like a cultural market shift thing where we're always looking at this Venn diagram of like, what do you want to sell as the studio? Like, what's good for the business? What is the right thing to sell someone to support the product, aka their practice? And then what do they want to buy? And like whatever's in the center of that, that's your gold. And that isn't static. That moves over time because one of those conditions changes. And so you could make a pretty strong debate, and what I'm seeing that in the larger market in Western culture, and it's not everywhere, it's like specific pockets, we're seeing a much higher proclivity of purchasing from customers towards things that in their mind are very concrete. Everyone's been $99 to death forever. It's like another fucking membership, and it's like, it's not studios that ruin this, it's the online Netflix and just everything being a membership stuff that has like made this annoying.
Yeah.
That's not to say you shouldn't do membership. Let me be so clear. I'm just saying consumer behavior, we're seeing an increase in the purchasing desire in these like concrete 10 pack at a time purchases because it's psychologically easy, I think. That's my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
From that place, what the 3 studios I'm talking about have done is then they sold huge class packs instead of the annual. Because it's basically the same thing. Anyways, it just appeases that purchaser. And so the idea would be like, yeah, instead of selling an annual for, I'm going to use easy numbers, $1,000, we're selling 100 class pass for $950.
Yeah.
It expires in 1 year, absolutely no extensions, full stop fucking period. That's it. It's basically the same thing. That's like 8 times a month of practice. Cool. And they're just sitting here when you use it. The key to this, though, is this predetermined, pre-communicated in your receipt, like, there are no extensions of this. There are no refund. You're not 6 months from now, you're not like, I have 50 back, I get 50 classes. Hell fucking no. Like, that is not even a conversation. If someone sends you that email, you just send them back the conditions that they pre-agreed to in the purchase and say nothing. Like, you need to be prepared. No perks, not it's just a simple pass. Like if you're gonna go that route, you should just be prepared in that way that you're
Here,
gonna go to bat for that. If you can't do that, if you're the person who's gonna let it be a pushover, then I would not recommend that. But the point would be in all three cases, one was like a 75, there was an 80, and there's a 100. They sold the shit out of those things. Not even Black Friday. Like they sold way. One of them, the goal was to sell 20, and we sold like 130. Like it, like, and mostly like 60% people who didn't have an existing membership. They did pull people off other things, but like that was fascinating to me. Now, those are only three cases.
Yeah.
well, the other thing that could be interesting in that case too, is if you wanted to have a little tweak to that, is you could make it shareable with one other person.
Yeah.
That could be like, hey, we're having this, and price it maybe a little bit, make it like you're gonna make, like, maybe make it $1,200 for a 100 class pack or something, make, and then say, and all the things you just said, it expires 1 year, classes don't no refunds, no transfer, no holds, no anything, and it could say, and it is shareable with one other person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good idea, Terry, too, because one, you want them to burn through it and be happy, so who cares? But also, how do you make an annual shareable? Like that gets weird. You'd have to charge be like, well, it would normally be 2,000, so then you get a 40% discount, so it's 1,400, but then and then it's like that's a hard sell. It's hard to build, whatever. It doesn't work. But you could do something like this.
Yeah.
And so you can make it smaller. I'm using 100 because that was one example. It's an easy number, but like
how
even 50, sell a
Yeah.
50 class pass with a 6-month expiration,
shareable?
and you let it be shared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm allergic to annual passes also, so I'm fine. Everyone can have their annual
Yeah.
pass, their 100 packs. That's fine. I actually do. I actually do have like, I genuinely do feel allergic to anything like this. Like I don't like selling annuals. It takes, it takes 10 people off my auto pay. And maybe if I had 1,000 members, I wouldn't care about that, but I don't. And it's always people who are going to buy my monthly anyway. Once in a while we do, but it's actually never on our sales. Once in a while we sell an annual just to a random ass person who just walks in off the street. I can think of like 2 in the past 6 months. And I love that for them. Like I love that energy. That's amazing. And actually those are the people I prefer to buy it, obviously, because that wasn't a guarantee they were going to stick around.
Yeah, they're just throwing down the commitment part.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
So
Yeah,
I have the antithesis to that. I loved annuals.
I love that.
And I had a whole strategy for annuals.
Yeah.
And I still had a shit ton of monthly members, because part of my strategy was making sure when I sold an annual, I had the strategy to make up the loss of the monthly member to moving to the annual. And once it got rolling, it just was like, it worked that way. And but I think to Bridget's point is you got to decide what you want to do in your studio and then have the pricing that works for that kind of thing.
Well, and Bridget, you just made the point too that it's like for you, that undermines the bigger, like the thing you're trying to do in the business right now or how it has been. And so, like you said, if you had 1,000 members and you're like, cool, I'll sacrifice 50 and just get people over an LTV mark. So Black Friday aside, any sale ever, it's always the question like, why? What are you doing? Why have a sale? Do you need one? Is like, what's the point? And there are cases for it. It's not to say to never ever do it necessarily. It's just, yeah.
And I also will say, sometime when somebody challenged me with this, they said, "Oh, I don't do annuals because you don't make very much. Your cost per class, your revenue per visit is so low." And I was
No,
like,
that's not true.
it's not true. I actually
No.
I did the numbers because I had enough data, and I actually made quite a bit more
Yeah.
revenue per visit, because I had people that bought an annual and they were spending like 25, $38 a class. They just wanted the convenience of not even thinking about it. They just,
Yeah.
right? It's just like,
On average, people purchasing an annual pay higher per class than people who stay on an auto pay for the same time frame.
yeah, they
That's
just
our
want
data. Straight
the
up.
hard data. And then I do have an answer for how do you make an annual shareable? Sell 2 annuals.
Sure.
I guess that's
Yeah.
technically.
I mean,
Also,
don't do annuals. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
some softwares have like family membership. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you could make an annual.
Oh, I don't mean the technical side. I mean
Yeah.
like how do you create that package
Yeah.
so that it kind of checks the boxes, right? It's difficult. It's 100 class pass, super easy. You don't even
Yeah.
think about it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that I like that
yeah.
for that.
The other thing we've said here is this selling multiple and putting limits and etc. Like I feel like those are good things to be aware of as well. But going back, Carol, to your thought with a 5 class pass too, at that pricing point. So it's like, okay, I'm going to price it the same as the 10, but then it's just a 5, so it's easy. The other thing that is smart is plan to sell more than one. And so you do that by, there's 2 or 3 ways to do it, but you do that by either increasing discount on volume of purchase. Now, we don't usually do that with passes, but there is a path for that where it's like 5-pack for $100, $20 a class. Every subsequent one, it goes down $10 to a limit of 5 or whatever. It's not that you're going to sell 5 of them that many times. It's that I've already said yes to this deal that's on right now that's going to run out, and now I can double down on it. People will buy a second one. Like a lot of people will go that route. Whereas because it was $20 a class, I think it's a good deal and I want it, but I would have just bought one. I wouldn't have bought 2 at that price. So that's one method. And then the other one that I feel like is equally, or in my opinion, more powerful because it's less complicated, is you just limit the total. You make the deal good and you limit the total to 3. Always 3. Because as human beings, we choose the middle option. And because we want to take advantage of something, but we don't necessarily want to go full committal. And so if you're selling a 5-pack for whatever $80 today only, limit 3 per person. On average, people try to buy 2. That's what you see with that. So like, well, I don't need all 3 of them, but I should get more than one. But the reason that happens, whereas if you say the same exact sale, and we've tested this, 5-pack for $80, most people buy one of them. A few people buy a couple. As soon as you say like limit 3, now I'm thinking about buying 3. I don't buy 3, I buy 2. This happens to me. I check myself when sales like this happen and I'm in it. I'm like, oh, I know that this is happening and I'm still going to do it. Like, I'm totally.
God.
2 peanut butters? Hell yeah. I'm definitely fine too.
Think about whenever you get angry about someone asking for sales, think about Josh's face right now. And like that is the spirit of someone getting a sale, is that like childlike grin of like, hell yeah, like I am crushing it. My stepdad is like this as well. Absolutely fucking loves a sale. Like absolutely loves a good deal. Knows he's being taken for a ride half the time, but like it's just too fun. He will also do the thing that you have mentioned, Josh, where you just like in totally inappropriate scenarios ask for a discount, like buying a belt at Nordstrom. Just like, can I have this for 25% off?
Yeah. I told the story before. Like I don't always do that. In fact, I do it very seldom now, but my dad tends to do this more. I've done it a few times too. It blows my mind how often something is negotiable.
Totally.
The most random places you'd be like, this belt's $100. Like, I don't really want to pay $100 for this belt. That's what I say. Like, is there anything we can do? And they're like, oh, well, yes, there is. Like, you can get 10% off. I'm like, great. Like,
I can actually just type in 10% right here to my little machine.
cool. That's good enough. I don't even care what the deal is. Just, yeah.
So funny.
But yeah, then if you flip that the other way, I've always, to your point, had to remind myself that too. Like, I'm like, oh, I've done that. If someone's just coming asking for a deal, it's like, if you don't ask, you don't know. That's all they're doing.
You can just say no.
You just say no.
You don't want
I've told the story before. To this day, I'll never forget it. That it was like, our annual pass was $1,250 at the last studio. And this woman walks in one day after practicing for 3 months. She practices quite a bit. She had like bought some other discounted thing after an intro, then a friend like gifted her something, and we made an exception that it could happen and whatever. She's finally running out. And she goes, I'll tell you what, how about I give you $600 for an annual pass? And I was like, no. Like,
That will not work.
nope, I'm not going to do that. She goes, okay, and leaves. And then she bought an annual pass or something. Like, yeah.
That is so funny. Gosh.
What about Carol for Black Friday stuff? What have you seen in terms of like launching? Because I think the other thing that happens is everyone's selling something this time of year and sending out an email. Like your inbox is about to be full with a bunch of like Black Friday this, Black Friday that. Like, how do you cut through that noise if you're going to do a sale? Or yeah, what's the play with just communicating whatever you're doing?
That's a really good question. I'd love to hear what everyone else has to say. I think the message that we do not do Black Friday is what cuts through, honestly.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're planning, you've got your plan in advance, and maybe you're even planting seeds on the way to Black Friday, that might be helpful. With maybe you could do some fun social media posts like it's coming, look for it, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what would actually do the trick. Do you guys have any ideas?
Hmm.
Well, I was just thinking specifically about what you said earlier, Carol, which is the more personalized reach out. That's going to stand out in an inbox way more than everything's getting sent to promotions anyway, the minute it says Black Friday on it. And so that personalized Gmail is going to go a long way. And you can do the last one I used for this was discontinued, but there is a little plugin, I think is the word. I'm not sure. It's an extension, I think, of some sort that you can get. Maybe it's not an extension. I don't know, but it's some little software that you can download that you put people's information into a Google Sheet, and then it can look like a personalized email to all those people. So it'll literally, you can put in like the specific offer you want to say, like you can do all this stuff, but you don't have to BCC 100 people. It'll just look like from Bridget to Terry. And then the message will literally say, hi, Terry, been thinking about you. We miss you at the studio. Are you still interested in yoga? Because I was thinking that this would actually be the perfect offer for you. I'm not offering it to everybody, but blah, blah, blah. So you can look into that. The one I used to use doesn't work anymore, but I'm sure there's another one.
And also texting. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Or push if you have an app and you can push through it. I think that
push
Studio's
notifications.
way underutilized
Yeah.
push.
We underutilize push a lot. Yeah.
I did that.
Um,
I pushed.
yeah.
Yeah, I did do pushes. Of course, yeah. And anything is you gotta try multiple things because people are not necessarily subscribed. The thing with push notification, they have to subscribe to the push notification, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, you gotta be careful not to push to everyone all the time. Like you should, with push, I think you have to be really
more
careful
strategic.
be more strategic.
I
'Cause
think it also depends on what your push says.
yeah, what you're offering for sure.
Have you guys have used Duolingo?
Mhm.
And so Duolingo is a good example of like their push efficacy, not getting notifications turned off, and response rate is like industry high, or it was some years ago, and they're studying it. Because even their tile, right? It's like if you lose your streak or whatever, then it gets a frowny face, and then the push comes in, and it's like the pushes start out by being like, hey, like time to get in here and practice again. And like, oops, it seems like you might have fallen off the wagon. And then they get more comically dire as you go. And to
Yeah.
the point that they're like,
I did.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but if you send out a push, you're like, "Hey, are we breaking up forever?" Like,
Yeah.
then at least, whatever, put some attitude or some fun in the push.
Be
Then
entertaining.
I,
Mhm.
yeah, then I pay attention, including then when you have a sale thing, if you like throw that tone into it too, then I hear it. Then I don't feel like it's spammy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, I think good old email is still worth it. The
Mhm.
personalization is a good piece. You said something a moment ago, Bridget, that is just absolutely correct, and we don't say it clearly enough. So I want to sort of repeat it. If you send an email with the subject line Black Friday deals, and if the first line or the snippet says Black Friday or whatever else, and you got a bunch of links in it, it is a fucking guarantee that it's going to someone's spam or promotions folder.
Yeah.
Even if they've opened previous emails, even if they've got you on approved list, even if they've responded before, the filters are going to filter that out. And so I'm not saying you wouldn't send an email like that ever, but that would be the email you're sending then. You're sending a generic Black Friday email at that point. Be prepped that that's what's happening. So if you don't want that and you want someone to actually open it and read it, or you want it to maybe hit somewhere else in the promotions, I feel like you have to do something better.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm. I think the other thing I would add is I'm really kind of surprised. And very often when we go on site and do sales trainings for teams, we're really focused on some of their core product sales. And so that's where most of the conversation is. So we like sprinkle in a little bit, but we don't often get too much time to spend effort practicing this. But it's like there's never not something to talk to your people about at the front desk. There's never not something to sell. And so then this is an example where now there really is something to sell. It floors me how likely it is someone can be doing an annual sale for 50% off, and I can go to that same and it'll be all over their Instagram, like just making their tiles terrible. And I'll get 6 emails from them that I'll end up whatever. And then you go to the studio, the front desk, and there's not even a poster, one, and two, no one says anything about it, is mind blowing to me. Like I know people don't want to be like sold all spammy at the studio, so like you got to do it in the right way. But at the same time, like what have you got to lose? And I'm the captive audience right here standing in front of you as I'm signing in. Like what other moment that's more powerful than that could you possibly ask for to sell someone something or to just tell them about it at least? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think you could probably launch a Black Friday sale, send one email and just talk the shit about it in this, like talk it up big time in the studio, and I bet you would be pretty successful. I
Yeah.
would do more than that, but like you could negate all the other stuff. That's the more power play.
The other thing you can do if you haven't done it in the past, it'd be interesting. You could do with the email A/B testing, right? Just
Mm,
with subject lines.
yeah, yeah.
You could do A/B testing with the subject line, see which subject line get, and for those of you not familiar with that, you send out the exact same email, but you just change the subject line to see what's going to get the most opens. You can send that out, see what you get most initially, and then you can always go back in and
Mm.
resend the
Yeah, that's
email with
good.
the better subject line to the group of people, and then they get dropped into that. So that's the other thing. I think that really gets underutilized in studios because it does take,
There.
someone's got to do it. You've got to build out the 2 campaigns. You got to track it. You got to monitor it. And I do think that that's something that can be done. Well, of
Mm.
course it can be done with a little bit of forethought and planning. It can be done, and you might be surprised at the better results you get with your emails.
Terry, did you say you first send it out to just like a smaller group? That's the
Well,
Or what do you do?
you could do it different ways. Like you could do it initially, you could do it just to 2 smaller groups, and this is where you have to segment, or you can just split your database and send 50-50, something like that, depending on how detailed you want to get about it. But yeah, you could just do a small sample, but a bigger sample is better always.
But if
And
you
then,
send it to everybody first with this A/B test, then is the idea that you just send the exact same thing, but the one that performed better again? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
so
it.
yeah, so you'd have to segment. You'd send, let's say you have a mailing list of 1,000 people, 500 would get, and you want to send to everybody. 500 would get subject line A, 500 would get subject line B.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the results. Which ones got the most opens?
Yeah.
Because if we're
And it's
just
fine to
looking
send
at,
it again,
yeah, if we're
and that
just
doesn't
looking,
affect.
yeah, it doesn't. If you're just looking to see an open rate that they went beyond actually just deleting it, they actually clicked into the email,
Yeah.
that's open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you can go to really detailed on this, and this is what big companies do. It's like, okay, now we're going to do an A/B on the language and the link. What link performs better? And then you can look at click-through rates. I mean, that takes a level of more sophistication just in terms of organizational structure. But a simple one is just if you can make it to the open rate, and then like I said, that anybody that didn't, you resend to the one that had that lower open rate, the exact same email with a different subject line, because that subject line.
Oh, so you're just sending it to the other half that got the lower open rate. You're not resending it to the whole list with the right subject.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like if subject line A got the more opens, then anybody that got subject line B, you would just change that subject line and resend the email.
So it's
right.
This is so simple. Like most systems, MindBody less so, but like most systems to do what Terry's describing, yes, it's manual. It's also really easy.
Yeah, very easy.
Like it's like 5 minutes in most cases. If you're using a MailChimp or something like that, it's like stupid easy.
Yeah. Constant contact.
Yeah. This also depends, like if you're a studio that has a large list of people, we have a few studios that have 30, 40, 50,000 people on a list because they've been around for a while and they just had a lot of people through the doors. This sort of stuff starts to make a lot more sense because of your, let's call it 20,000 people on the list, 10,000 are actually still in your market. And of them, 5,000 are active on your list in some way. That's still enough volume that now you're only ever going to get, of the 5,000, let's say half of that are going to see the email at all. So now we're at 2,500. And so like, even though you've got 20,000 people on a list, it's 2,500 people that you're actually going to shoot your shot with. And so what Terry's describing is like, so you send an email out to let's call it 2,500 people that we're expecting, and then you only get a 30% open rate or a 20% open rate. So now you're down at like in the hundreds, maybe like lower hundreds.
Yeah.
Having that list feels not very valuable now. So the simple stuff of like, I mean, how many more sales would you need to be happy? 10? It's like if 200 people of your 2,500 opened it and made it through, you think there's another 200 in the rest of that group that like they might have just missed it or they just weren't whatever, or like probably. So try again. Yeah. The other way to do the split testing, just so it's been said, most systems that studios use don't do this part well, but it would be you send out, if you have a larger list, your 2 emails with the 2 subject lines that you're split testing to 50 people and 50 people. And then you see what happens after 24 hours, pick the winner, and then send it to the whole rest of the list.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That might be a little bit less.
Yeah, different technique, but yeah, that's a good potential way to do it.
I have one more question before, if we do have time to talk one more Black Friday thing.
We do.
What could be, is there any strategy to be had around doing something for like a big upcoming thing, retreats, trainings, where you're not undercutting the people who have already signed up, and you still are maybe like catching a couple of those people who are like on the fence about it and they're like, gotta do this.
Yeah.
What can
Carol,
you?
you have any ideas?
Actually, it's a good question. I have a studio that does a Black Friday. It's like a special workshop discount deal for like the rest of the year or the next year, basically. Like
Mm,
and I think they also, I want to say it could have to do like you could get a discount on the retreat coming up. You know, it's like you're kind of buying a package, but the perks of it have to do with discounts on, because they have really great workshops throughout the year that lots of people are interested in, and their retreat. So I think that's an interesting play and something that does add value, you know, when you're looking to see like what could I do to add value to a package, discounts on those kinds of things are huge.
So it's just a cash amount that they are paying, and then they can.
I think they get classes. I need to verify. It was something that just was briefly touched on, but it is some kind of package. But the perks of the package are in the whole next year, you get discounts on all the stuff we do.
mm.
That's very interesting. Okay.
I was going to say similarly that to not undercut people who've already purchased something like a training, the play is to bundle something.
Yeah. Right. Like you have to do this other thing too.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard that can be an option is, do you guys know about these like Christmas tree sales that people do? Where
Hmm.
like and this is something, if
It's a
you
good
don't
idea,
have time,
actually.
yeah, like if you don't have time to get this going before Black Friday, this is something all through you can do this anytime, I think, before like, quote unquote Christmas or whatever. But like I'm envisioning this on our big cactus that we have in the room, but like you hang basically ornaments, and each of these ornaments is like a special deal. It's $100 5-class pack. It's 20% off your membership for the next 12 months. It's $100 off your teacher training, and maybe there's 3 of those ornaments, and you have to go to the studio to get access to this. So it's like 8 a.m. this Monday or this Sunday or whatever, get here and take your ornament off the thing. And that way it's like, okay, my people who already signed up for the retreat they still have the ability to get this ornament if they want. But someone else could get it too.
Yeah. One year, we did a version of something, not the Christmas tree one. It was at a different time of year. We did something like this. But then a few other studios, we've done interesting iterations. This works because it's gamification. And
Mhm.
so it's kind of fun and it's very Instagrammable or whatever else. So I think that these can be a good idea for a studio. But the other piece of the puzzle you could throw into this is you make the Christmas tree component something that has to be purchased. Think about like combining a raffle with it. And
Yeah.
so this happens for like this 1, 2, 3 days. You can purchase an ornament. And so
Yeah.
you actually get the ornament to take home and the deals in it. The purchase of the ornament is some sort of a give back thing. It's to the food bank, or it's to support someone who needs a turkey at Christmas or whatever. And so it's not to make money for the studio necessarily, but it just reframes things together a little bit. So in a couple places, it was like the family Christmas meal thing that would go on, where it was like they would bring a full Christmas meal for someone who didn't have that. That's what we funded with a few things like this. Uh, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It's like an ornament's $5. You can buy as many as you want, and then there's a chance to win the thing as well.
Oh, so you don't get to pick which ornament you get.
No, you pay
Just
five
you
dollars
get to pick what
for the
deal.
ability to grab an ornament. And then also you're like, there's only 100 ornaments
Yeah.
or whatever. And you get to feel good because you donated towards this cause as well, you get this special discount thing.
Cool. If you've done a Christmas tree sale, tell us about it in the comments. Inquiring minds. Asking
Yeah,
for
I think
friends,
next time,
as I say.
yeah, I think next time we pick up the Christmas tree conversation and talk about like Christmas and holiday in general,
Yeah.
what do you do there? Because that's another
Yeah.
game ties into this. Well, I think that is a wrap this week's weekly roundup. Tune in every Friday to make sure that you are subscribed to Studio Cult TV on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you're listening from. And we will see you next week.